This is Waiting on Unknown Roads. It just came out a week or so ago, and some of my good friends keep telling me, Sarah, this is your best book. This is the best one. And I appreciate them telling that. And I will read a little bit more from it, but I'm just going to tell you, this one is a little bit of a downer, okay? It's not gory or anything, but it's not quite as up as some things I have written in the past. And so I'm just trying to prepare you for that. But anyway, I like the title on this one. Are you listening? Okay. Because this will go with some of your titles. After you said I wasn't the woman you wanted. In my apartment, I walked to the wall. I talked to the walls, waited, my cat racing from window to window, chasing birds with her eyes. Finally, I drove home to Fayetteville, met a blonde army captain, 6 feet tall. Hands around my face, he kissed with coffee-tasting lips, said my blue eyes made his knees shake a second time, the first when a bullet pierced his helmet in Vietnam. He planned to write war stories. I waited for you. I often remembered your sad blue eyes, telling your Korean War experiences. Sliced the throat of a red Chinese, blood spurted into your hair, soaked your uniform, dragged his body to a ditch. In a 2-second reaction, you killed him left-handed. Decades later, that tall blonde, a published novelist, taught literature at Boston University. You found me online. I was no longer waiting. We met for coffee, you with walking cane, no hair. I still recognized your sad blue eyes. Oh goodness, here we go. Okay. First and foremost, when I was 15 years old and I was sneaking around in my grandmother's attic, I found some very strange items and nobody would tell me where they came from, what they were about. I still don't know it for sure, but I do know that I had some very, very dark relatives with black eyes and dark skin, and they came from Germany, and I know that some of them escaped after World War I, and nobody would answer me. Nobody would tell me anything, and certainly not my grandmother. So many, many years later, I went to the Holocaust Museum. How many have been there? 1, 2, 3, 4? You need to go. I cried all the way through, but you need to go. And this is something that I wrote after I had been. It's called Photos, a Chance Meeting at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. It was your eyes, dark brown, staring directly into the camera. You were 15, 18, 20, Russian somewhere, Poland. You are a Jew. You could be my cousin. Your thick hair, longer than the era fashion. Your eyes staring, full lips, fleeing, hiding on unknown roads. Your destination soon to be Auschwitz. You are a Jew. You could be my brother. Someone pushes your back. You never stop staring, puzzled as though you have a question, no smile, a startled face in bright light. You are a Jew. You could be my father. My father was the only person in tons and tons of relatives on his family who had blue eyes. But he looked just like his brothers. So, no problem there. My brother and I are the only grandchildren who have blue eyes. All of my cousins are very dark with black eyes, and they are fascinated by the things that I have found pertaining to my family or my father's family. And I'll never know all the answers, but I have written about it to some extent. So that was my mom. Okay, how am I doing for time over there, Greg? About 6 minutes? Okay. Well, while we're on this topic, I'll read about my grandmother in that side of my family. It's called Close to the Bone. Grandmother nested in a nursing home in her last years, a wounded bird, wings broken, existing on crumbs. A month after the birth of my blue-eyed daughter, she flew away on her unknown roads. Grandmother was an artist with black eyes like muted marbles, painted roses on velvet, ate cold sweet potatoes for breakfast, stored false teeth in a jewelry box. She didn't seem to see me, so close to the bone. I, the oldest of grandchildren, invading her kitchen with its fern-bordered wallpaper and Aunt Jemima cookie jar, the only grandchild with blue eyes. Her black eyes wandered to an empty field next door, a tiny molded headstone marking her daughter's grave. Brain hemorrhage at age 3. Girl babies breed pain. She never told me why she hated red dresses, painted her front door purple, threatened her sister with a butcher knife, hid her Jewish heritage in the attic. My grandmother disappeared into the dismal swamps, brown moss, left me a chocolate pie recipe, a crochet bedspread, and unanswered questions melted in my mind like sticky cotton candy. Since this book, Waiting on Unknown Roads, I try to be a little optimistic towards the end and, gather up the troops and all that stuff. So rather than reading more about the Holocaust, I'm going to read what I hope is a plea to my sisters, okay? I like pleading to my sisters. We never painted our toenails green, scanned soap operas on a rainy morning, fed the cats fresh shrimp, collected movie star photos of Elvis or Debbie Reynolds. Our lives whirled into red coils, spiraling, spinning, our stressed bones, skins, shriveled into saran-wrapped shells, brains like curlicue pink wigs. We have waited long enough to seek red leaf trees, sprinkled with silver dust, cabins in unknown valleys, listen for calls of crows, feed them corn kernels, believe all their myths, share in their raucous laughter. Now it is time to drive to the mountains, plat wild yellow daisies in our hair, yowl at the sun, crunch bones in ice cream, swear we will explore unknown roads, swear we will not fear death. I've done it.